Max, it is great seeing you, man. You were reminding me before we started. When was the last time you and I actually spoke?
It was actually May 12th, I think, of 2020. I had just dropped something about you. It was April 10th I dropped it, and we talked just a month after. And man, we had no idea what was about to happen next, but what a crazy 2 years it's been. It's great to be
L-
back.
Let's go right to that spot. What happened after our interview? And I had a great time talking to you, man. So thank you for making the
Thank
time
you.
to do that.
Me too. Thank you so much. Yeah. It was a whirlwind. I mean, I kind of just I was independent artist just kind of swinging through the pandemic, and it was we had some incredible opportunities and openings for sure. It was really amazing. I mean, something about you opened a lot of doors. We were only 1 month in when we had chatted, so the lifetime of that one was really great. It went to radio, and then I kind of just kept releasing singles, like I had said in the interview, and I kept going. I released right back where we started, and then all these other singles, Out of Love, and then in 2021, at the top of 2021, I released Good Time,
Yeah.
and Good Time was like a big smash hit that did a lot for me. And we dropped that in March, and it got iHeartRadio's Future Star. So it was all over radio all across Canada, and I think that was like I was releasing singles. I was like, which one's gonna because I kind of had a feeling, right? I was like, which one's gonna pop a little. So I'm happy Good Time had a good lifetime for itself as well. And I think it definitely beat Something About You for sure. So I'm just really happy with the success, and I'm also happy coming out of, like, hopefully out of the like the pandemic, and
Yeah.
playing shows, and I'm excited to play Lemon Stage this coming Tuesday. It's all looking good, and I'm looking up for sure.
We're going to talk about Lemon Stage in a second because I get to introduce you on that at the El Mocambo. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Do you look at your success and what's going on? Uh, Reasoning behind it. And the thing I'm thinking is because when I listen to your music, I think of John Mayer and Harry Styles. So it's like old school and young and new school kind of joined together. Am I right when I talk about that fusion when I talk about your style of music?
I think so. I mean, there's a lot of like electric aspect in my songs, a lot of electric guitar as like a base and a foundation. But there's a lot of that like cool factor that, like you said, there's Harry Styles in it. There's a little bit of that like kind of touch on rock, but
Yeah.
at the same time it's like ballady. But I think I'm starting to lean more towards like the grunge side of things now. I'm kind of getting into more of like the Harry Styles aspect of stuff, and even the way I dress, the way you'll see me dressed on Tuesday night. It'll be. I mean, this will be your first time watching me live as well, and as well as many others. So I think I'm just really excited to kind of show up and be there and be in the moment with everyone. And that's something I've missed, is the live music. So I think yeah, there's a bit of John Mayer and some Harry Styles in me for sure. But I think Coldplay. I've also been really inspired by them lately. Chris Martin is a huge icon. Um, and Ed Sheeran. I mean, like, Ed Sheeran has kind of really motivated me in the past few years to play guitar as well. So there's a lot of people. I mean, it's my music's definitely a fusion of like several different artists in one. So yeah, I think that's the unique thing about me. It's you haven't really heard anything like it before. So
What was it about during the pandemic changed you though into the style where we're now being introduced to you, introduced for the rest of us? I mean, was it what you saw? Was it what you heard? I mean, let's face it. Every time we even walked out the door, there was something new and crazy going on.
yeah, honestly, I think yeah, through the pandemic, I think there was a lot of angst that I had, and I'm sure a lot of people relate to this. But you couldn't help just like being indoors all the time, and you just wanted to get out, or you had the thought of wanting to get out, and it started to get a little annoying, right? So I think like part of that angst in my songs, and part of that like kind of like putting on the edge of the rock, is kind of like where that comes from. It comes from like me just like being so angry because I had a full album ready to go, and then a pandemic had dropped in March of 2020, and it was like, well, how are we going to navigate this? And I was like, I can't wait any longer. Like, I have to do whatever it takes. And that's why I was swinging like through like the bulk of the pandemic. Like this has been like the bulk of my career has just been through a pandemic, which has been crazy in itself, and like that's not easy, right? So I think that's where the angst comes from. It's like it's just wanting to like keep getting out there. So I always put myself on the plate, no matter what it is.
What about lyrically? Has your lyrics changed because of all the angst and everything that we saw and heard?
Yeah, lyrically, I think I think the album that I had dropped 17 in back in September of 2021, I think that was a lot about like my high school experience and like what I went through in like the past years. But I think now I'm writing more about like I think like I mean we always mature, right, as we grow up. So I think I'm writing a lot more like directly now, if that makes sense. And I'm kind of just trying to be truthful with myself, and I'm trying to tell the truth to others. And I think like that is what gets you farther than kind of just like glazing over top and kind of just like staying undercover with like what you really want to say. So I think I'm trying to kind of like dig a little, and I'm trying to figure out like what I really want to say, like not only to my fans but to people out there who might become a new fan of mine and would want to hear something super real, because I think nowadays people really want the truth, right? Because there's so many platforms, so many things that people are listening to right now. So I think yeah, everyone wants the truth. So I think yeah, more truthful writing for sure.
Your videos, not one are the same as the other. Very, very different. Were they being recorded during the pandemic? And who was coming up with the ideas? Because literally, I watched four of them, and they all look completely different. And I would swear they were different artists.
Yeah, no, that is all me. I mean, I had a few videographers on the team when we were going through all of that those videos. But yeah, I mean, like right back where we started, for example, that music video was filmed like literally like on my street. And I brought like all the neighbors out who like we have a bunch of kids on my street, and like brought them all out, and I was like, yo, do you guys want to be in my music video? And everyone was super hyped, and we kind of just all came together on like a Saturday, and we literally filmed everything like on our street, in the backyards, and in our neighborhood. So it was really cool, and I think like I want to make videos that support the vibe of the song. And I feel like every single song on my album is different, right? It has a different storyline, it has a different vibe. So I think, with right back where we started, like that was the vibe to like have the kids, come in my music video and do it like here, like, where I live. And Out of Love was pretty close as well. Like it was kind of just like right down at the ravine where I am, like near Old Mill, and we filmed there, and it's very like handheld camera type of thing, and I just love that aspect of video, and I'm extremely fortunate and grateful to have the team that I have. So we like I had ideas that I would kind of just write down, and I'd hand it to my team, and we work together to kind of like bring it to life. So yeah, it's been really cool.
No, we kind of already talked about it, but I always like to make at some point during our my interviews to make certain things official. So let's do this part. The album officially. What is the album called, and how does the album represent your career right now?
Yeah, so the album's called 17. I numbered it. And 17 is a number that really means a lot to me. For example, 17 was my hockey number when I played GTHL hockey when I was younger. And it was also my dad's number and also my grandfather's hockey number as well. And 17 is just a number. I feel like everyone has a number that just pops up for them everywhere for some reason. It's always just like it pops up on any given day, and you're like, why is this number speaking to me? You know what I mean? And that's the number that speaks to me, and it's always been a very significant number in my life. So that's why I decided to name the album 17. And I was also 17 when I was actually like writing the album, and when I went through all those things that I wrote about. So it just kind of all made sense. It was a pivotal point in my life for sure. So yeah, that's the reasoning behind why I named that album 17. And yeah, I think I'm very proud of that album. I think it's something that wasn't easy, especially making it through 2019 and kind of coming out of high school and then having to release it all through a pandemic. So yeah.
I was going to ask you too. You graduated, correct?
So yes, I have graduated high school. I took a gap year in between. I think I was in my gap year when we had last spoken.
Yes.
But I'm actually now at university taking theater and performance. So there's a lot going on, and I'm kind of just like multitasking everything. But I think I can really do it. I've been doing it for 2 years now. So I'm just kind of like again swinging away at everything.
I'm just curious though, man. Because I feel so bad for a lot of the young folks out there when graduation came up. I mean, I had the whole ceremony and everything else. What did you end up having to celebrate your graduation?
So luckily, I actually got the whole thing. Like
Ah,
it was still 2019. Yeah, it was still 2019. So I had graduated properly, like the whole ceremony, you get your hat, you throw the hat, everything. And then, I had my prom, all of that. So it was normal. And I was super lucky because that was literally the year before everything had kind of gone crazy. And I feel so bad for the students that I knew, like who were in younger grades at my high school because they were talking to me about how they were just going through this like whole online thing and it's just like yeah, it was tough to hear that, but I had actually gone through online classes in my first year of university, so I feel like everyone kind of got a little bit of a taste of it. And it sucked that I wasn't able to kind of like go to my main campus at Brock University and kind of experience all of that. But I take theater and performance, so I'm actually like off campus at a different building, and it's just like this whole arts building. It's super cool. And I'm finally like in person there now this year, and I've got like a week left of term, so it's like grind time for me right now. But it's all good, and I love having so many things on my plate.
yeah, because you're doing shows. I was on your Instagram, and you just did recently did a show, right?
Yeah, so I did a show just a few months ago in November of 2021 at Bar Cathedral, which is like located on the Esplanade, and that was a lot of fun. And yeah, now I've got a lot of shows lined up this year, so I'm really excited to kind of just hit Lemon Stage this Tuesday, rock it out, jam out with everyone. I'm just really excited to see all the other artists too playing with me that night, and I'm just extremely grateful to be in the position that I am right now. So it's great.
Okay, so just so you know, it's just you and I talking right now. So,
Yeah.
like, can you give me just a hint on what this show is gonna sound like and look like? Just you and I.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. I mean, I'm wearing I mean, I don't think I can show you my outfit right now, but I'm
It's
I'm
okay.
wearing something pretty cool. I always dress up really nicely for my shows, and I've got a band with me. I've got a drummer, a bassist, and a guitarist. And I'll be playing a lot of electric guitar. I'm known to play on the loop pedal, so there will be a lot of like songs that I'll be playing kind of Ed Sheeran style off the loop pedal off my acoustic. Um, and yeah, a lot of the songs are gonna play are off the album, so I'm just really excited for that, and I'm also showcasing one or two other songs that you've never heard as well. So yeah.
So does that mean we're looking at an upcoming album, EP, or something in the horizon of 2022 going into 2023?
I am very hopeful for one. I've been writing a ton, and there is no set date just yet, but I am planning, and there will be stuff on the horizon, I promise.
Man, looking forward to it. Look, as we're wrapping this up, there are a lot of young folks who are still disillusioned, man, on what's happening. I know, I think I remember you gave some great advice before. I'm going to ask again, man, since you've been through it yourself. What advice can you give folks out there, man, who are just like, tough times, but just let them know good times are going to be on the roll?
Honestly, this is actually passed on advice from just like videos I've watched and kind of artists I've been listening to, and it's Lil Nas X was actually talking about it a few weeks ago, and it was to be delusional. I think sometimes you have to really know your vision and to see it, you know? I think yeah, that's like one of the most important things I've heard in the last like few months, especially with people who, are I mean, we all can't help but complain about this pandemic, right? Because it's just been holding us back, everyone. So I think sometimes when you're trying to work on something, no matter what it is, whether it's music, acting, or even anything outside the entertainment industry, I think you just have to see your vision, and you have to believe that you will get there. And it's a mix of confidence and delusion. And I think it sounds crazy, but sometimes you do have to be delusional, and you have to tell yourself, I'm going to get there, and this is going to happen. I think that's the best thing. You got to manifest it, but also be delusional at the same time.
I love that, man. And I absolutely believe that. I love that. In a lot of ways, I kind of been doing that myself too, man. And it's
Yeah,
worked because if it didn't work, you and I wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
exactly.
Brother, it is so great to talk to you. I cannot wait to see you on the Lemon stage at the El Mocambo this Tuesday. There have been some packed houses in the past. There are going to be another one on Tuesday. And from what I saw from that performance video, I don't even know how you could have heard yourself with all the screaming going on, man. They love you. They love your music. They love your performance. And I don't know, man. I may have to get some cotton to put in my ears because I don't want to lose my hearing from what's going to be happening. Great talking to you. Can't wait to see you Tuesday. Thank you again for the interview.
Rudy, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.